What I wanted to do was leave the UK. My wife said, absolutely not. I don't like Dubai. It's all very fake. I can't live in the desert. Stereotypical things that most Westerners come up with. She trusted me. Put my details onto an online recruitment portal. 24 minutes later, I think I got a call from you guys. Within 21 days, I was in Dubai. It's a place where anything you want to do, you can do. I was the best rental agent in this city.
I was going to say, didn't you break a record?
Yeah, I mean, one might think to rent a property is not as prestigious as selling a property, but honestly, when you rent property, you meet a lot more people. I definitely did make sacrifices, and I had to go 9 months without my family. Every night, reading my son his book over Zoom. I was committing to a plan A, and there was no plan B. If you're doing things right, your phone never stops. And every phone call is an opportunity to make money. I currently have a Porsche Cayman GTS, which is my everyday fun car. You might be looking at me going, now look at this egotistical guy. But honestly, if you put your head down and you work hard and you like the finer things in life, you have the opportunity to enjoy these things in Dubai.
Welcome to the Dubai Guide podcast. My name's Guy Last, and I am the founder of Guy Last Recruitment. For the past 18 years, I have lived, worked, and supported thousands of people from all over the world secure their dream job in Dubai. On today's episode, I have the pleasure of speaking to Ricardo Scala. Ricardo relocated to Dubai over 6 years ago. He has broke multiple transactional records in both lettings and sales, as well as going on to winning the award for Dubai's #1 real estate broker. He shares with us the journey of relocating, the tough times that he went through, the challenges, as well as some of his successes. This is a great episode. Don't miss it. You are a big name in Dubai real estate now. You're an award-winning agent. You've recently launched your own estate agency and personal brand, which is going incredibly well. So what does life look like for Ricardo today before we jump back to the before?
It's a good question. It's a really good question. So what does life look like for me today? I take about 20 to 30 phone calls a day from either people wanting to sell their home calling me, people wanting to buy or rent calling me, and to be honest, 75% of the calls that I take are other real estate brokers and professionals in the city from other companies all around the city calling me and saying, hey, I have this client that's just came across my table. I'm not really sure how to handle them because I've never sold something maybe over a certain price point. My company isn't giving me much guidance on what to say and what to do. Can you help me? And the simple answer that I always say is 100%, because we're in this game to help people find homes to buy. But that also means that we're in this game to help other professionals become established in this city. And whether you look at that like a mentorship program or just being someone that just puts their hand out there and says, listen, hold my hand and let me take you on the journey and I'll teach you how to do it. I've got no issues with that. There's plenty of real estate in this city for everybody. So the majority of my day is involved in doing all that now. And then on top of that, I am a little bit more established now, like you said. So I'm now diving into my own real estate projects myself now, where I'm buying, renovating properties and selling them for profit, which is now where the lifespan and the maturity of the Dubai market is now entering into.
And it's exciting to see where you are today, especially on the social media front. You're so comfortable.
I wasn't always Guy. That's the thing as well, right? So for anybody that ends up looking at my social channel and going, Guy, that guy's an absolute goofball, or how can you do that kind of stuff in front of the camera, or you don't start that way. You just have to realize that you are someone that's out there that people might want to know more about, and how you want to be perceived is how people are going to look at you on social media today, let's face it. And I am someone that tries to be 100% true to myself, and what you see is what you get. So I am a little bit goofy, I am a little bit silly in the things that I do, but the products that I sell and the way that I try and display that information is 100% genuine. And anyone that's watching this who understands, of course, social media, you see a lot of people on social media that are just completely fake. And it's very, very clear to see It's very, very easy to see when someone's just full of it. Let's face it.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't be that way at all. You just have to be 100% you. And if you're comfortable with who you are and being that way, it just takes a little bit of practice just to then just get into the rhythm of being on a camera and talking on a camera like we are doing just now.
Let's take you back to the beginning then. I mean, what was life like before you decided to relocate to Dubai then? What were you doing? And what was that moment when you thought, let's look into Dubai?
It's very clear in my head how it all happened, unless I've now got it wrong and you can tell me otherwise. But basically, I remember selling my business in the UK, and I came from a totally different industry. I'd never done real estate before. I owned my own house, but that was to the extent of real estate experience that I had. I'd sold my business, so I was accustomed to being a bit of a business owner and relying on myself. That's fine. I'd returned from being in the US after 7 years. I'd then been in the UK. North in Glasgow for about, I think, 7 years as well. When I then got out of my business situation that I was in, I sold it and moved on. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do at that point. What I did know that I wanted to do was to leave the UK, and I wanted to go back international again and find a new challenge for myself, because I had such a fun time and a good time in the US. I wanted to look at that international experience again. Our best friends, my wife and I, our best friends had lived in Dubai by that point for about 9 years. So I suggested, let's look at going to Dubai. My wife said, absolutely not. I don't like Dubai. It's all very fake. It's all very new. I can't live in the desert. All the kind of stereotypical things that most Westerners do come up with. And I said, listen, I get that, but there's an opportunity, I think, in Dubai. What do you want to do? And I said that to my wife, and she said, well, I have no idea. My wife worked for Apple. She was an established employee at Apple for 6 years by that point. And she was like, I don't want to leave. So I said, listen, let's explore something. Let's see what happens. Put my details onto an online recruitment. And this is where you can keep me right. Put my details onto an online recruitment portal, which I'd never done before. And I remember 24 minutes later, I think I got a call from you guys, which was pretty much how we remember it. But literally 24 minutes later, I remember saying to my wife, it's only been less than 25 minutes and someone's already reached out. And I can't remember who it was I spoke to, but it was a nice conversation. The thought of selling real estate in Dubai was put to me. Is that something I've ever thought about? And I was like, no, not really. I like real estate. I mean, I'm a bit of an OCD geek when I go into properties and show homes, and I like looking at all the products, but I'd never done it. So I then said, yeah, sure, why not? And then of course apparently the CV was interesting, the journey was interesting. Would you be interested in having a few conversations with some Dubai brokerages and see how it goes? I said, yeah. And then you guys took over. I think it was 6:30 the next morning. I had an interview with one company, and then the next company, then the next company, and then I had a second interview with 2 companies, I think it was, and then basically within 21 days, I was in Dubai.
Amazing.
And it was quite a fast journey. And then obviously we had to come down and do the training with yourself to have an understanding of what the market was all about. When we met the first time in the training room back then, that was when I first discovered the company I was going to and what area they wanted me to be working in. Now, I'd never been in that area, so I didn't know anything about it. But what I knew was I was committing to a plan A, and there was no plan B. So, if I'm going to commit to something, I'm going to commit to it with no option of what do I do if it doesn't work. That's not my mindset. So I was given Dubai Marina as my specialist area. Of course, I was not a specialist at all of Dubai Marina, and so I had to learn everything I could about Dubai Marina. I remember you guys telling me about looking into the Marina Diamond apartments, and I thought, oh, there's like 6 of them. There's 6 of them. They'll be quite good to work on. And studied that. Got into Dubai, started with the company. Was clearly told from the very beginning that the company I started with had no Dubai Marina representatives, and I was going to be, really exploring that from scratch.
Taking a lead on that.
Go. And that was it. And so And so
Amazing.
then you have to then really work out a game plan, and then you go from there with the support the company gives you as well. That was what I remember anyway. So
No, that sounds about right. Old habits that, die hard. Having worked, and this now, having worked in Dubai real estate myself for 10 years, you have to move quick. And I just taken that into recruitment. And when we see opportunities, we act quick on it. And you mentioned, your wife. Now that's obviously a challenge in itself, and probably one of the biggest challenges when your partner, you obviously want your partner there with you. What other challenges did you face during that relocation process? I mean, did you have to sell your house, or were they pretty much the only challenges at the time?
Yeah, it's quite simple. I just to be clear, I left for Dubai, and I left because it was Plan A. My wife and I had a conversation. As I said, she worked for Apple, so she couldn't just quit and leave. So the Plan A was that I was going to go to Dubai and get set up, and then they would come out and join. And I basically gave myself 9 months. They were coming out 9 months later. So I arrived in Dubai myself, 9 months of Plan A, knowing that at the end of 9 months, my wife and my young son, who I missed his 2-year-old birthday. So I made sacrifices. I definitely did make sacrifices. The game plan was Plan A, and my wife couldn't leave that fast. So I had to have no distractions at all. And so I had to leave, and I had to go 9 months without my family. Sacrifices, every night, reading my son his book over Zoom, letting my little boy fall asleep on his pillow with me still watching him. That was probably the hardest part of the journey, if I'm being really honest. And for anyone watching this, and from anyone looking at it going, I've got a wife, I've got kids, trust me, Dubai is a phenomenal place, a wonderful place to bring up a family. In my initial journey, I had to make a sacrifice to leave my wife and my son. I've got 2 children now, but my son behind, so that I knew that when they came over, there was no stress, there was no worry, and they wouldn't be freaking out. Now, with that being said, my wife didn't want to come to Dubai. She wasn't fully convinced on it, and she trusted me implicitly that it was the right choice, because if it wasn't the right choice, it was all my fault. So from the very day one, I think, Guy, from day one, the pressure was on myself to perform and to be that way. And it's really important that you understand that when you come to Dubai, it's not all beach, and it's not all socializing. I literally was 7 days a week myself. 7 o'clock in the morning, I'd go to work. 11 o'clock at night, I'd go home. But I'm 5.5 years on now, nearly 6 years on, and I can sit here and I can talk to you and I can say it was worth it in every single way, because I am now who I am because of that, and I'm in the position that I'm in because of that. And so you have to have a little bit of a vision to try and do your best to visualize that and manifest that for what the future brings. There was a lot of sacrifices. We still do have our home back in Glasgow. We still go back home every summer to see the family. Since that, I've bought other real estate as well. But the biggest sacrifice was leaving the family behind for 9 months and really dealing with being myself. Zoom calls, all that kind of stuff is fine, but I was really myself. So the only option I had was to work, and just work and work and work. And no socializing. I can honestly look at you and say, I honestly, I was very boring in those first 9 months. I didn't go out. I didn't socialize. I didn't go to staff events. Not because I wasn't wanting to. I just had a very, very strict vision in my head of what I had to do. And for all of us out there that are watching, who, you have your other halves, and you have your family, and you have your kids, everything you do in life is for your family. And everything you do in life is to make them feel comfortable and feel relaxed. And if they feel comfortable and relaxed, your life is comfortable and relaxed, which then creates a scenario of positivity, and only good things happen from that.
I can't imagine doing it myself. I've got 2 children, 2 and 4. I couldn't imagine leaving them for that period of time. What would you say you appreciate most about living in Dubai now?
what I appreciate most is the lifestyle that you're provided when you're here, and you really have the opportunity to dive straight into the lifestyle. You mentioned a few moments ago, before I started going on about my ranting about things like, coming across with my family, maybe not being able to kiss my wife, hold her hands and stuff. All that is now changed. That's all now changed over here. The rules have all now changed. All these things are no longer as strict as what people who have never came to this part of the world perceive. Honestly, the culture, the people, everyone everyone is friendly, everyone is kind. It's all revolved around family. If you're single and you don't have family and you're coming across yourself and you're single, that doesn't mean that you're going to find nothing to do, because on that separate side of things, there's plenty socializing that you can do.
Oh, it's an incredible place for young, single and free. It's incredible as well.
Yeah, the best way I can describe it is it's a place where anything you want to do, you can do. What you choose to do will dictate how successful you are in this part of the world. And that's probably the best way I can sum that up, to be honest with you. But as a culture, it's respectful, it's kind, it's giving. I mean, you don't really have to lock your doors when you go to bed at night, to be honest, right? You know, everything is safe, and that from someone who has kids like yourself, when you know that you're in a part of the world that is safe, everything seems to be a lot more enjoyable. You know,
of course.
And people look at this part of the world, and there's an expense that comes with living over here. But what I can say to combat that is that you make so much more money. Right? So it's all relative. You don't have taxes over here. So if you're watching this and you're thinking that you earn X amount per year back in the UK, and then you take your taxes off, and what you're walking away with net is Y, you just don't have that over here, right? So then you have so much more money effectively to play with. How you choose to spend your money and what you choose to do with it is your responsibility. But if you're smart and you're wise with what you do, it's a phenomenal part of the world to enjoy life.
What other differences would you say that makes a big difference to your lifestyle? You know, from the UK to Dubai.
It never rains.
Never rains. That's a big difference.
So
in itself.
if you take that into account, you wake up every morning with the sunshine. When you wake up every morning with the sunshine, immediately you feel different about your day, right? So something as simple as that, just do not underestimate that. When you go on holiday, when you go on vacation for a week or 2 weeks anywhere in the world, you're going on holiday to get some sunshine and to feel good about taking some time off. Over here, you don't take time off, you work, but you have the sunshine to fuel you and energize you. And that's something that you'd never ever get bored of, because every day you can wake up and you go, oh, another sunshine day. I mean, I don't think I've ever spoke to anybody that says, oh, it's sunny again. God, I don't ever think that. And the other thing that's really interesting is as a culture, in the UK, a lot of chat and a lot of conversation that we have will revolve around mundane things that don't really mean things. And one of those things is always about the weather. Oh, the weather's raining. Oh,
You're right.
You just don't have that. You don't have that over here. So that's a big thing that's a contributing factor to enjoying life over here. Another thing, just to flip the switch and just to give another example, is there's so many things to do over here. And what I mean from that is literally there's so many things to do. If you like sport, there's every sport that you can think of that you can do over here, including skiing and snowboarding, right? If you're a water baby and you love being in the water, then of course we're on the seaside here. But in addition to that, there's the snorkeling and the scuba diving and everything else is amazing over here as well. There's literally anything that you want over here. I play football every week. I go to the gym 4 times a week. You have big gyms, you have boutique gyms, you have personal training, you have all these different things over here. And it's basically, it's like taking all the best things from the UK and all the best things from the US, putting it all together into a culture and getting rid of all the crappy stuff that doesn't mean anything. That's what they've tried to do here in Dubai.
What do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions? Do you still come across some big misconceptions when speaking to clients?
Yeah, I mean, there's misconceptions in the sense of, when conversations happen, it always happens around what's life like, what are the schools like, what are the malls like. Oh, but I've heard that if you do this, you'll get into trouble. I've heard that if you do that, you'll get into trouble. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on those kind of type of things, but let's just put it bluntly. If there's things that you're not supposed to do and you do, it doesn't matter where in the world you do it, you're going to get into trouble, right? So the difference over here in Dubai is that rules and regulations over here are, yeah, I mean, they're quite strict, but they're not difficult. They're very easy, but they're very firm. That's probably the best way of saying it. So quite simply, don't break the rules and life's amazing. And in the UK and other parts of the world, you might want to, hold on, 2 seconds. Yeah, go. Yeah, that's no problem. Guy sitting in my car bonnet for a photograph.
Well, that's certainly something you can get in Dubai. So why don't you just share with everybody what you're driving at the moment then?
Hey, I'm driving a Porsche.
Is this like a dream of yours? Was this always like on the vision board or?
Yeah, I mean, my vision board's not finished yet. I'm a huge car fan. I always have been. So I currently have 3 cars.
Wow.
I have a Porsche Cayman GTS, which is my everyday fun car. So when a client calls you up and says, "Can you pick me up?" and it's just maybe a single person viewing a man or a woman coming out to view a property.
Yeah.
Do you want the fun car or do you want the sensible car?
Nice.
Everybody says the fun car.
Yeah.
If you're going out with a husband and wife, or if you're going out with a husband and wife and kids or a few people, then I have the 4x4, the SUV car, and I have a 2023 Nissan Patrol, which we don't have in the UK. But needless to say, it's huge, and it's amazing. And then I have a BMW M5 Competition as well, which is my family car / fun car combined. The one car that I've not got yet is a Ferrari. I've always promised myself that I would buy myself a Ferrari. And this sounds, I'm sure if you're watching this, you might be looking at me going, "No, look at this egotistical guy talking about this kind of stuff." But honestly, if you put your head down and you work hard and you like things, you like the finer things in life, you have the opportunity to enjoy these things in Dubai.
Is there anything particular you feel you've learned about yourself since moving to Dubai that you wasn't aware of?
From a personal point of view, I've been here now just under 6 years. Of course, we had to endure and we had to go through COVID and we had to deal with COVID all around the world. How this part of the world dealt with that was outstanding, and that's the honest truth. The UK had such a hard time with COVID-19, with lockdowns, with restrictions. I can honestly say, hand on heart, when lockdown happened here in Dubai, lockdown of physically not going out your home was 3 weeks, 4 weeks, because the government was so fast with putting everything together. We had apps developed within a few weeks that allowed us to basically get out within regulation, to go to the supermarket, to go and do things that were necessary. We had everything in place that just allowed us to basically try and get on with our life with all the rules and regulations that I was talking about before, following those simple rules. And I don't know if you've got statistics or whatever, but I mean, obviously looking back at that time, Dubai was very, very low when it came to the number of cases of COVID and problems compared to other parts of the world. So during that time, of course, business, like it did all around the world, freaked out. And a lot of businesses freaked out, and just in general, people didn't know what direction to go in. What I discovered during that time was opportunity to define yourself moving forward. Resilience and understanding how to deal with pressures on a scale that we'd never had to deal with before, right? I I was actually having a conversation about 2 hours ago with someone else, and they actually asked me a very similar question. They said, when you started selling luxury real estate in Dubai, because for those watching, as I mentioned at the beginning of this conversation, I was a rental guy. I was a rental agent renting properties out, and I specifically personally chose to stay a rental broker for about 2.5 to nearly 3 years. I've only been selling for just under 3 years now on real estate. Most of the time it was rental, but I was the best rental agent in
I was
this
going to say,
city.
didn't you break a record?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Tell us a bit about that then.
Yeah, quite a few. I mean, the sales records are great, and everybody fights for those, and you go for them. But the rental ones were the ones that meant the most to me, because when COVID happened, I was still a rental broker, and the whole, everybody stopped working because they didn't know what to do. Whereas during COVID and during lockdown, and then during that transition of being back out again, that was when I broke all my company records.
Right.
As a rental broker. The second company that I joined prior to COVID happening, I'll throw some numbers at you, and maybe we can translate this afterwards. But the highest rental commission annually that had been put on the board for a rental agent gross was 860 something on the board, 1,000 dirhams
for the entire year.
For the entire year, which was which was a lot of money.
It is, yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And when I started with that company, they said to me, "What do you want to do? You're going to be a rental agent. What's your goals and objectives?" And I just looked at them and I said to the managing director, I said, "Well, what's your record?" And he went, "Well, this is our record, but don't put yourself under that much pressure." And I said, "Well, I'll double it.
Yeah.
And I'll break it in the first year." And he just went, "Listen, come on, calm down. Calm down."
Yeah.
And I can honestly say I got to the end of my first year on that one, and I put 1.973 on the board as gross commission, of which from that I took home 60%.
Wow.
From that.
Very nice.
As a rental broker.
Well, that's over £200,000 for the year.
Yeah, as a rental broker. So when people look at it and go, "Oh, the type of money you can earn selling real estate," please don't diminish the fact, or don't think that if you come out to do rentals that it's anything less prestigious than sales. Because when I left my second company to progress my career, I left that company as the top broker in that company, and that was being compared to the sales guys as well, who were not allowed to do rentals, so they were only doing sales. So yeah, I mean, there's been a few records broken, but the ones that mean the most to me were the rental ones, because people in general, one might think, oh, to rent a property is not as prestigious as selling a property, but honestly, it's hard work. And when you rent property, you meet a lot more people. So the game plan over here in Dubai, when you're a rental broker, when you're a real estate broker, is you want to network and meet as many people as possible. To be successful over here, how do you meet as many people? How do you interact, and how do you create relationship with as many people as possible? Never underestimate the power of being a rental real estate agent or broker here in Dubai.
Great advice there, because naturally the majority of people that enter into the real estate industry from abroad naturally go into rentals. The opportunity to obviously do deals are quicker, obviously potentially on a majority are going to be smaller, but you're getting money through the door and earning money much quicker. But on that, I mean, from what you're saying, it does. The job as a real estate agent can, you're working all hours. It's not your typical 9 to 5. How have you worked, and what advice do you have in being able to balance that?
Do you want my honest answer on that one for the viewers and the listeners?
Give the honest, as honest as you can.
It's incredibly difficult. It's incredibly difficult to balance. Your phone never stops. If you're doing things right, your phone never stops. And every phone call or every WhatsApp message or every text message, SMS, whatever you want to call it, is an opportunity to help someone. An opportunity to help someone means it's an opportunity to make money. But never release yourself from the fact that you're out here to help people buy, rent, or sell real estate. That's what you're here to do. And the byproduct of that is that if you're very good at that, and you're very good at being a people person and helping people, then you'll do very well, and you'll have a very good career over here. Whether or not that's something you want to do for 1, 2, 3 years, or whether it's long term like myself, never forget that you're out here to help people. And if you keep that as your focus, and deals will come, deals will go, you'll make some amazing opportunities. You'll lose a lot as well, because of course the people that you deal with over here, lots of different cultures from all over the world. Different cultures have different attitudes to doing things. You very quickly find out what you're good at and what you're not good at. And these are really important things to keep at the forefront.
What advice would you be given in relation to networking? What are currently the biggest networking opportunities in Dubai? And as somebody landing in Dubai, starting in the real estate industry, how would you be advising them to network?
Well, I mean, let me be clear here. I'm 41 years old now, right? So I'm not 20 something anymore. I'm not
looking incredibly well, may I add as well there, Ricardo. Holding it incredibly
Thank you very much.
Well,
I got my hair done for you. It's all right. But I'm not a 20-year-old. And what I mean by that is social media for me is really difficult, right? I find it very challenging to balance, as we were talking about, working and the necessary things that you have to do or create on social media. Now, I'm not very good at it, although I have a good team behind me now that help me do that, which I give full credit to. When you're much younger than myself, you have grown up with that as your staple, as your norm. For me, I've had to kind of deconstruct that and learn it a little bit more, as opposed to, I mean, my son's 6 years old, and I took him to a trampoline park at the weekend there, and he said to me, "Dad, can I take your phone?" Of course, he doesn't have his own phone. "Can I take your phone? I want to go and take some videos, and I want to do a tour of the trampoline park."
Oh, wow.
And show it on social media, maybe, if that's okay with you. And I was like,
Amazing.
Okay, all right. So he went and did it. I gave him the phone, and he went and did it. And do you know what? It was absolutely brilliant, to the point where he's sliding down a trampoline, bouncing off the trampoline, and going, "Hey guys, my son's got this weird international kind of accent that kids end up having over here. So they have this kind of mixture of English, American, and everything else."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Hey guys, I'm here at Bounce, here in Festival City. Go check them out at bounce.com." And I'm like,
wow.
Where have you got?
Taking after his old man.
But he's 6 years old, right? So he, that's difficult for me to do, but for him, he's 6 years old doing it. So when you are younger than me, you have a lot more skills than I have. And if you want to be better than me, which is not going to be hard to do if you're much, much better than me in social media, networking, connecting, creating your profile, creating a perception for yourself that you want people to look at and enjoy, being original, being true to yourself, getting out there and not sitting in the office the whole time. I mentioned before that I was in the office, leaving for the office at 7 o'clock in the morning and coming home at 11 o'clock at night. That was my working day. But during that working day, I was out there making friends with security guards, making friends with the gardeners that go around the villas, because they know everybody, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Making friends with all these type of people, going to networking events, suggesting that groups of people meet up for breakfast to give your opinion on what's happening and what's developing. If you come out here with a game plan, your company that you come to work with will tell you exactly what you need to do to make money. They'll give you a template, they'll give you a Bible, a book, whatever you want to call it, to follow. In addition to that, take that as the rules and then look at that and think, how can I add to that? Don't just do that. Add more and whatever you're adding, be original and be yourself, and the rest just flows.
What is your plan then long term within Dubai, and what do you hope to accomplish? And have you got any, I suppose, goals that you're looking to achieve? I mean, do you see yourself in Dubai for the next 5, 10, unlimited?
Yeah,
Or, what do you see?
I know exactly the answer to this question. So this is the exciting part. So I'll be here. I'll be here in Dubai for at least another 12 years, right? So the game plan is
Okay.
my
Why 12?
well, my son is 6, right? So at 18 years old, he's going to go to college. Now, whether he goes to college in Dubai or ends up going to college somewhere else in the world, if he goes somewhere else in the world, we will probably look at another opportunity somewhere else in the world. But 12 years from now is 53 years old,
Yeah.
53 turning 54. So I'll be an old man by that point. And honestly, I don't want to keep on working in real estate when I'm
No.
54 years old. I might want to continue developing and renovating and doing that, but that's the game plan from there. So, what's
Amazing.
ahead? I'll tell you the next 8 months, and then you can then
Sure.
work out from there. We've just finished filming over here a TV show, which is in post-production just now. There's been a lot of TV shows coming and going, all around Dubai with a lot of different hype. There's been some stuff on the BBC and everything else. But what I can say is, if you watch this and you understand real estate and you go onto Netflix or you go onto different channels and you see and you know what the most watched reality TV show in real estate is, what's the most watched one in the world, that's coming out this year, of which I've had quite a part inside. So television is definitely part of this year, and then radio as well. There's going to be some stuff happening on the radio over here too, where we're talking about luxury real estate on a regular basis. And I actually came from a meeting 3 hours before with a radio station talking about a regular slot on the radio, talking about and then helping people in Dubai understand real estate and luxury real estate a little bit more. So that's quite short term. That's definitely this year. But then again, the television thing is 10 seasons. So I don't know where that's going to go. If it tanks, then it's going to be 1 season, but I'm sure it won't tank. We'll see how it goes. So that's that. Yeah, that's that. So in addition to my day job, in addition to selling real estate, in addition to renting real estate, in addition to now creating content on social media, I've got a lot of other things that's happening. And when anybody comes out to Dubai, I just want to say this. I know it's important, but when everyone comes out to Dubai, you always want someone to be there in your corner and to help you if you're stuck or you need questions to be asked. Please look me up on social media. If you ever need any help or questions or advice on any type of real estate, whether it be renting or selling, just reach out to me. My whole mission in life is to basically help as many people be as successful as possible, because that's how the world goes round. Give and give back. So please feel free to reach out to me. Please feel free to do that, and I'll help you as much as I can.
That's an amazing offer, and I'll make sure all the listeners will have a link on whatever they're listening or watching this on directly to your accounts. And I would advise anybody that is listening to certainly reach out and say hi, because you'll gain somebody out in Dubai that will certainly guide you in the right way with the right intention. And it's unfortunately very difficult to find in Dubai. But certainly that's a great opportunity, and really thank you for that on behalf of the listeners.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So before you go, we've got a few quick fire questions.
Okay.
Beach or desert?
Beach.
Brunch or dinner?
Dinner.
Oh. Traditional souk or modern mall?
Modern mall, because they're amazing.
Modern mall. There's a few in Dubai.
Yeah.
Downtown or marina?
Downtown.
Villa or apartment?
Villa.
Indoor or outdoor activities?
Outdoor.
F1 or rugby sevens?
1000% F1.
Christmas at home or Dubai?
Dubai. If you've never done Christmas in Dubai, just wait. It's
Excellent.
epic.
This could be an interesting one. Sports event or car event?
Oh, come on, Guy.
I thought I'd throw that one in. I thought, yeah, that
nowadays, I would say car event. 15 years ago, I said sport event.
Nice. And last one, city lights or beach view?
City lights.
City lights. Where are you currently living then now?
On the beach.
On the beach.
So let me.
That's a funny one.
Beach life with a city view is epic. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Fantastic, mate. Well, look, I really appreciate you coming on. I'm hoping I can get confirmation from you that I can invite you back on in the next 6 to 12 months when you're a superstar on these TVs and radios. If I do have to book through an agent, please let me know if I can get a discount.
My wife takes care of all the behind the scenes stuff now, so you just have to get through her to get to me now.
Excellent.
But yeah, thank you.
No, it'll be good. It'll be great to have you back on again, certainly, because you've got a lot going on. You're on it seems like a brand new journey, going solo, building your brand, and it's great to see from the outside. So no, I really appreciate you coming on, mate, and continue. Wishing you all the best on your journey. And again, for anybody that's listening, please take the opportunity to reach out to Ricardo. It's an incredible opportunity to touch base with somebody that is well established in Dubai and will set you up in the right way. So, no, thanks very much for coming on, mate. And
you're very welcome. I've really enjoyed it. It's been nice catching up as well. And just lastly to the viewers and listeners, remember, I do understand what you're going to be going through. And it's a fun journey. It's an enjoyable journey. It's a hard journey, but trust me, it's one that's worth doing. So please reach out if you want to, and I'll be more than happy to give you more of an insight.
Top man. Next time on Dubai Guide.
Is this the story of how I ended up in Dubai? How much time have you got? I was depressed. I left my partner at the time. I had no money because I was out of work for 6 months. I really don't want to cry. Oh God, I really didn't think I was going to get upset. Everyone was so welcoming when I first joined. We had a connection like it was meant to be.
To overcome the challenges that you had, it's an incredible story.
The universe was kind of saying to me, you are better than the life you're in right now. It has been the best decision I've ever made in my life. It's not as easy as some people are making it look. You have to either be different or be incredible.
And wear an orange suit, apparently.
Everyone has taken the mick out of me for the orange suit. This is a very easy industry to completely let yourself get consumed by. You need to have a hobby that is like a release for you. If anyone is deciding to take a chance on themselves and move to another country, the rewards you get for doing so are so worth it.